Would everyone please rise as we welcome the graduates of Basic Parole and Probation Class 89, led in today by bagpiper Aaron Anderson with the Portland Police Highland Guard. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, being sung by graduate Brooke Chapman.
Class, attention!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for Basic Parole and Probation Class 89. My name is Bree Murphy, and I had the honor to serve as the primary training coordinator for this class. There are two other fantastic humans on this stage with me today. First, we have Jason Ridgway, DPSST's newest probation and parole training coordinator. And second, Tara Hubbard, Multnomah County DCJ Adult Services Director. Today marks the completion of 5 weeks of training for Basic Parole and Probation Class 89. And although we're here today to celebrate them, I'd like to start by taking a moment to thank all of you in the audience. To the friends and family, your strength, commitment, and personal sacrifices have not gone unnoticed. This group would not have been able to successfully complete this academy without your unwavering support. I'd also like to thank the individual probation and parole officers, deputies, supervisors, as well as the Board of Parole members who have been here instructing over the last 5 weeks. The students are fortunate to be able to learn from such a strong group of professionals, and DPSST is honored to support you in your efforts to help build the future of community corrections in Oregon. I'd especially like to thank OACCD and their continued support by sharing their staff with DPSST to provide quality training to the future. And so for that, BPP 89 and I would like to say a massive thank you to everyone for their support to this class in all the different ways. It is now my pleasure to introduce today's graduation speaker, Tira Hubbard. Tira is the Adult Services Director for the Department of Community Justice in Multnomah County. She has over 25 years of professional experience in person-centered services, originally victim advocacy before transitioning to the field of community corrections in 2008. Prior to her current position, Tira was the Deputy Director of Adult Services for Jackson County, Oregon. Tira is a first-generation college graduate. Tira's career choices have been driven by passion for empowering those whose voice have not been heard. And in 2018, she received the Oregon Department of Community Corrections Outstanding Services Award. She is a national presenter on trauma, staff resilience, and implementing gender-responsive practices. Tira serves on the board of Association of Justice-Involved Females and Organizations. Tira and her partner have 3 adult children, an elderly rescued Chihuahua, and 2 super freaking adorable French bulldogs. I think one's got a really cool name. I can't remember the other one. But please allow me to introduce you to one of my favorite humans in Oregon, and not to mention one of my APPA mentors, Tira Hubbard.
I haven't gotten tearful at a graduation in quite a while, and that got me in the feels today. I am so excited to be here to welcome our next generation of community corrections leaders. Because sitting on the stage is our future directors, our future deputy directors, our future managers. Thank you. So there's an inside joke about my love of flamingos, and I hear there's some sort of like them tracking how many times I say the word flamingos. So I'm not gonna say flamingo very many times today, but whoever caught all those might win. So let me be the first one to welcome these folks up here. You made it. You've done 5 weeks of cafeteria salad bar. You've done the ORPAT. You've learned a host of new acronyms, words like ICOTS, Doc 400, a GCK, EBP, and R&R. Friends and family, they'll explain what those mean later. You've even possibly survived a snoring roommate. So to the friends and family that have supported your graduate during these weeks at the Academy, thank you. Thank you for your investment in them and in our future. So graduates, as you enter into this field and this profession of professionals in Oregon that supervise, sanction, and provide services to people on supervision, I want to share a few tips with you. Things that you can cling on to in those hard days. And I'm gonna hope that you'll share some of these with others on the easier days. And in true form, I've done it in an acronym because you might remember it. Hawaii. We're gonna talk about Hawaii. So first off is our H, how. You've spent the last 5 weeks learning how to be a PO. You've had information overload. You've learned so much. You've taken notes, you've studied, and you're probably a little nervous already about how much you've forgotten. The how to do things will change on you many times over your career. Don't hold on to anything too tight, because we are in the business of change. Don't assume, I've got this. Refer back to your policy, to the OAR, to the ORS. If there isn't a procedure in your organization, write one. Share it with your supervisor. Use your LSCMI manual to maintain fidelity, equity, and integrity in this work. We can't drift from best practices or grow complacent. Once you know how, volunteer to teach others. Accountable. Always be honest. Take responsibility for your mistakes. You're gonna make them. Sometimes you might make a lot of them for your whole career, regardless of what position you're in. Accountability has had negative connotations. It's often used synonymously to mean consequence or even jail when we're talking about the individuals we serve. Remember, though, that accountability is the act of learning from your mistakes and taking responsibility for them. Remember that for you, for your colleagues, and for the future clients you supervise. We got another W. Why? When you interviewed for your current position, you probably answered some variation of the why do you want to do this work. I've interviewed a lot of people over the years, and almost every time a candidate mentions something about wanting to help people or believing that people can change or wanting to serve their community. Do not ever forget your why. It is easy to do that as the hows change over the years. As you learn situational awareness, a hypervigilance can set up into your bones. It can take residence in you, and it can pull you to a place of wanting to be cynical or even desensitized. The work is incredibly rewarding, but when that pull for cynicism or hypervigilance or desensitization happens, remember your why. Remember the words that you said in your interview as to why you wanted to do this work. Attitude. Learn about the circle of control. If you live this job within your own circle of control, you're gonna sleep better at night. You're gonna stay happier. There are a lot of things in this profession that you don't get to control. You don't get to control new legislation, the amount of paperwork you have to do, your client's motivation, or their behaviors. You don't get to control whether or not services are available. You don't get to control your boss, your colleagues, how antiquated the Doc 400 system is. But what you can control is your attitude, how you treat others, how you communicate, your work ethic. Show up, do your best with everything in your circle of control. Maintain a good attitude. Go home, sleep well. Improvement, don't stop learning. It's gonna take you 3 years before you can take a call in the middle of the night and wake up and know that you did everything right and you went right back to sleep after the call. Takes a while. Like, you get those calls in the beginning, your heart starts pounding and you're not sure if you did all right, and you have a hard time going back to sleep. It's gonna take a little while. Once you hit that mark that you're like, I think I know what I'm doing, keep learning. Don't stop at that point. Read the research. Why do we do what we do? Once that happens, if your gut says, I don't agree with something, you need to go learn. You need to research it, you need to read it, and you need to understand it. You need to look for efficiencies and innovation on whether it's how you file for speed and accuracy, or how you can create more engagement in assessments, or how you do in ground fighting. Don't stop learning and improving. Identity. This profession has struggled to agree or articulate our identity. For years, we've talked about POs being parts of other professions, like how we're part law enforcement, we're part social workers, we're part resource brokers. We talk about the changing hats of our job, and I'm part law enforcement today, and then I gotta do this other part. We've created this severed identity of ourselves. This job isn't broken down to pieces and parts of other professions. We're a whole profession. We're not wearing a bunch of different hats. We operate more like a zipper. Sometimes you have to turn on the officer authority a little bit more. Other times you need to turn on the compassion a little bit more. What we are always doing is trying to improve public safety. Sometimes that's through conducting a search for weapons, and sometimes it's through teaching a cognitive behavioral skill. We zip up and down as needed on the situation. We don't stop doing public safety when we complete a WERNA, and we don't stop trying to create behavior change when we arrest someone. We are parole and probation, and that is our identity. We ebb and flow to increase public safety and to create behavior change. Remember, you are not parts of other professions. You are whole. Lastly, the acronym Hawaii wasn't on accident. No, there's not a bunch of flamingos there. There's another one, just in case you're counting. But it's important to remember that you need to take vacations. You need to relax. You need to be you at work, and you need to be you at home. And you need to be present in both locations. All these people out here that are here to celebrate you today, they need that of you. They need you to be fully present wherever you're at. You are one whole person who does a hard job, but it is not who you are. You need to live to work and work to live. Don't ever wish your days away. If you ever find yourself wishing a day away, check on yourself, ask other people to check on you. You don't want to just live for the Hawaii days and miss all the ones in between. Take care of each other. Start and end your career healthy and happy. Sometimes there's going to be a lot to laugh about. Other times there's going to be a lot to cry about. You might even develop some nervous twitches. But congratulations, you've done it. You've made it through. You get to go home. Hopefully your roommate at home doesn't snore as much as your roommate here did. Try not to lose too much sleep over the sheer amount of paperwork you're going to have to do. Go forth, be yourself, and do good work. We're proud of you.
Hawaii has a Disney resort, by the way. And now to the graduates. Graduating from this program is no small accomplishment. The officers and deputies before you have been presented with numerous challenges, including the pressure of academic success, the many changes to the schedule, navigating unfamiliar or new curriculum, the physical and emotional exhaustion, as well as some personal hardships, including chronic soreness, bruised egos, torn biceps. Sorry, Bob. Wasn't me, though. And last day, use of force scenario injury that has got a full recovery already, signed off by a doctor, so that's good. And all the times you heard me say, it depends. Because in this job, it depends a lot. But at the end of the day, you all are a very impressively adaptable group, and that was pretty fun to watch. Class, I'm super grateful that our paths crossed. And Jason, I'm actually very grateful that you did self-care time before starting here and took some time to be with your family. So I got the honor to start working with this class before you started. And then I decided to keep this class because I was so invested in how awesome they are. And so I appreciate you doing that. And in fact, everyone on this campus was very impressed with how dialed in this group was and how dedicated they were to learning, even growing together, supporting each other, and encouraging each other when things were a little bit difficult or struggles were real in the fitness realms. But you guys were super dialed in, and I appreciate it. Not only did this class experience many firsts, but we also piloted a new leadership model with this class. We decided to go with delegates instead of a single leader. Will the following folks please stand? Brooklyn Kuhn, Justin Moe, and Valentino Ciccarelli. These delegates aren't just for serving as a liaison between staff and students or messaging all the many hard pivots that came our day in the schedule. These three played a vital role in the genuine representation of the BPP 89 community, and they displayed a real effort in ensuring that every voice was heard. And they spent a lot of time navigating my messaging and dissecting it and getting it to the right people. So I appreciate you doing that. I think each of them did a really good job serving Class 89 with dedication and professionalism. And I would like to thank each of you for taking on this role without much preface before volunteering for it. Now, as we look back at BPP 89's journey through the Academy, we want to recognize that everyone here today accomplished something incredible. We would like to formally recognize a few individuals whose contributions stood out. I would like to ask Director Hubbard and Coordinator Ridgway to assist in presenting these awards. The Health and Fitness Award is earned by a student who demonstrates that good health and fitness are not only attributes to their personal lifestyle, but also the profession of public safety. Before I give out this award, though, I just want to share that BPP 89 has really set a high bar for P&P going forward. Because not only did they set a new standard for P&P in all the realms of the PI testing and the ORPAT, but they superseded 2 basic police classes that are on campus right now with their scores. And those classes are here for 16 weeks, and this group is here for 5. And they jumped light years ahead of them. I don't understand JD's data, but at the end of it, he summarized it really well for me by saying that they did much better. So I know that in their PI scores, they made a significant change with a shorter amount of time. So that tells me you put in effort. And that all of them made improvements on their ORPAT scores from the pre to the post. So that just shows how much they were dedicated to doing the work. And it's very rare that I ever get positive emails from JD about students. So I wanted to make sure we called that out specifically. However, the decision was actually quite hard for JD at that point, but after many, many, many decisions, the Outstanding Health and Physical Fitness Award goes to Officer Alexander Esselstrom, Deschutes County. In the middle, stand in the middle. Family or friends can take pictures of you, stand in the middle. I told them they cannot leave without pictures. In the middle, Alex, we practice. Been here before, Alex. Okay, I know, I could tell. Did we get it? Did we good? I see the picture. We're not, okay. Now you can move on, Alex. Good job. I promise. But Alex. Yeah, he did good. We're proud of Alex. For defensive tactics, in each basic training class, an award is given to the best performance in defensive tactics and confrontational simulation training. And for this award, survival skills instructors look for technical proficiency, sensible decision-making, tenacity, and professionalism. And again, before I gave out this award, the survivals team came together and actually gave me really good feedback on the whole class and how they were impressed that everyone was engaged every session and that they would even teach each other on how to beat each other when it came to the competitive days, which was mind-blowing how much you guys really cared about each other's success, which is great. But they were just really impressed by your work ethic. So with that, though, the award for best performance in defensive tactics goes to Officer Valentinos Ciccarelli, Jackson County. There you go. The Academic Achievement Award is presented to the student who displays outstanding scholastic achievement, as well as the ability to demonstrate skills and knowledge learned. This class was given creative and innovative flexibility on their assignments, and this is one impressive group. And their group assignments alone were amazing, as that first one about a day in the life of a PO could be a pilot for a TV show, should anyone want to tell Hollywood. We've got some footage if anyone wants a copy. They can do a quick request, Lair Bear. You might want to get a copy of this one. You might have someone on film doing some things. Pretty funny. Oops, did I say that out loud? Sorry, Matt. Not sorry. But until then, till we make it to Hollywood with this show, the Academic Achievement Award is presented to Officer Brooke Chapman, Jackson County. Oops. The Victor G. Attia Outstanding Student Award is named in honor of the distinguished former governor of the state of Oregon, in whose term of office this agency became a reality. This prestigious award goes to the student in each basic class who is selected by students and academy staff, and the student must display exceptional professionalism, demonstrate an exemplary attitude, as well as outstanding achievement in leadership, academics, health and fitness, and survival skills. And pretty much I could try to give out 27 of these, but we don't have 27 in stock. So we had to make a decision, and the Department of Public Safety Standards and Training is proud to honor the recipient of the Victor G. Attia Outstanding Student Award to Officer Carla Botella, Deschutes County. It is now my honor to introduce the class spokesperson for BPP 89, Officer Jeremy Turner, Washington County.
Before I begin, on behalf of Basic Parole and Probation Class 89, we would like to thank Director Hubbard for her inspiring remarks and taking the time to be with us today. We would like to present you with this token of our appreciation. I'm nervous. I wasn't this nervous when they gave us knives and we tried to electrocute each other. Was. I wasn't this nervous when they drove us to a house and told us there's a gun hidden in there and you might want to try to find it. And don't violate anybody's rights. And we're going to actively question your authority while you do it. But maybe I'm just a nervous person because I was nervous to come here. Who would I meet? What would be expected of me? What would the classes be like? That nervousness subsided pretty quickly, however. We immediately met instructors who were passionate about their courses, engaging, inviting discourse and questions. They were excited to show us what they've learned over entire careers, and we got to make it our own and become better POs. I also got to meet this class, BPP 89. An amazing group of people, a group with courage to start a new career, and it's not an easy career. It's fulfilling, but I've heard zero people ever call it easy. The courage to confront injustices, protect victims, have difficult conversations, hold people accountable. This group had strength. The strength to not only uphold the law, but to remain compassionate as they work to keep their communities safe. I watched every person on this stage in the middle of combat whisper to the person they were fighting against how they could beat them. Who tells their opponent how they can win? With a smile on their face. These people were excited to see their peers grow and become stronger. We wanted to support each other, to learn and grow. We wanted to protect one another. We wanted to grow and become better because everyone here was willing to sacrifice to make sure that everyone else got to come home at night. This group of people were brave enough to ask questions, admit that they didn't understand, because every single person wanted to become the very best PO. A group of people I'm incredibly proud to stand on this stage with, a group of people that I feel honored to work next to. They told us to get comfortable being uncomfortable, but the people on this stage right now, they made me feel very comfortable, respected, safe, important, and valued. Something that each of us get to take home. I could stand here and sing their praises well beyond my allotted time. I could make each of them stand up and tell you what amazing qualities each of them possess. I could share that I was blessed to see their strength, their courage, how smart they are, how caring and compassionate, and how resilient, how much grit they have. and make them just as nervous and uncomfortable as I am right now. But ultimately, I think it's probably better that you hear from them.
I want to make a difference in our community and in the lives of the people that we give second chances to. I want to make our community safer by holding people accountable, guiding people, supporting them, and influencing positive behavior change.
I wanted to remain in law enforcement. My agency offers several different avenues which were interesting.
I find true fulfillment when I'm investing my life into the lives of others.
My why is because I've had a lot of people in my life help me get to where I am today. A lot of different support.
I chose this profession because I strive to make a difference in people's lives while making a positive impact and keeping my community safe.
For my family's sake, I wanted to help build a better community for my kids to grow up in that would be safer for them, and so they could raise their kids in our community as well.
I got into this career field to be beyond the call for service and give people the tools they need to change their behavior and be a leader in their own life.
To promote public safety and holding offenders accountable.
I chose this profession because I wanted to help people make a difference in their lives, make some positive changes, and to show my son, Zach, that you can do hard things by being determined, never giving up, and following your dreams.
We care about our community, we care about victims, we care about making things fair and helping people, and ultimately, we care about the clients we supervise.
I chose this profession because I believe in second chances, and I want to be a source of hope and accountability for people who feel like the system has given up on them.
And this is my why.
I got in this job because I've always wanted to work in the criminal justice system and help people.
I was a corrections deputy working in the jail, and I kept on seeing people come in and out, and I wanted to figure out how I could help them. That's why I'm here.
It's to hold people accountable, purpose for my community, and then for my family.
I want to see the best in people. I know in this profession it may be the opposite, but it'd be pretty cool to be that pillar of support for them to get to that path of success.
I chose this path to be a probation officer, to help others by being a mentor and a guide to do difficult things and make hard choices while holding them accountable. No path is easy. They all take effort.
My why is making a positive change in the community. I slept and I dreamed that life is all joy. I woke and I saw that life is all service. I served and saw that service is joy.
My why is to affect positive change in the community as well as make the county a safer place to live.
To promote public safety.
The most important thing in the world is everybody that's in this room right here, right now, my family.
I chose this profession as a means to uphold the pillars of justice, work unwaveringly to protect my community, and to those who seek it, offer a path of redemption.
Because I've in fact been on the other side of the table, and it took a person like a PO and counselors to get me on the right track. And I look at myself as a success story, and I just want to be a role model for every one of my clients.
The opportunity for community safety, but also having the opportunity to be involved in individuals' lives and making a difference there.
I really wished to help the community and be able to provide resources to people to help them reintegrate into society.
I find it rewarding to work with those who have a willingness to change.
Focus.
Perseverance.
My faith.
Leadership.
Perseverance.
Ibuprofen.
Positivity.
Hope.
Versatile.
Shenanigans.
Tenacity.
Resolve.
Perseverance.
Adaptability.
Duty.
Resiliency.
Zach.
Support.
Purpose.
Attitude. Determination.
Courageous.
Perseverance.
Deliverance.
Perseverance.
Patience.
Determination.
This was the first time that the class has seen that video, so it's really cool to see that. And now for the graduates, the moments you've worked so hard for, the presentation of your certificates. Each of you faced new concepts, pushed through the many challenges, and you all met them with grace and courage. These certificates are not just a piece of paper. They are a representation of your commitment, your integrity, and your willingness to serve with honor. Will the members of the Basic Parole and Probation Class 89 please rise and proudly come forward when your name is called?
Row 1, attention.
Officer Cody Adams, Jackson County. Officer Delinda Barnes, Washington County. Officer Carl Biggs, Yamhill County. Officer Carla Boteo, Deschutes County. Officer Brooke Chapman, Jackson County. Officer Valentino Ciccarelli, Jackson County. Officer Alex Esselstrom, Deschutes County. Supervisor Bob Fenner, Klamath County.
Bubble around Bob. Bob, bubble. Don't hurt Bob.
Officer Monica Gaspar Lopez, Washington County.
Row 1,
Deputy Jeff Halverson, Clackamas County. Deputy Derek Hyatt, Malheur County. Deputy Ken Horton, Crook County. Officer Ian Hull, Yamhill County. Deputy Brooklyn Kuhn, Clackamas County.
No, Scooch, we can make Jason come to us.
Deputy Julie McAllister Wynn, Wasco County. Officer Justin Moe, Douglas County. Officer Andrew Renier, Douglas County. Officer Krista Ritchie, Multnomah County. Officer Lexi Rincon, Polk County.
Good job, Lexi. Good job, Lexi. Oh, we got over Lee.
Deputy Sam Stinnett, Grant County. Officer Jeremy Turner, Washington County. Deputy Mallory Wagner, Clackamas County. Deputy Nathan Ward, Malheur County. Officer Matt Wendland, Columbia County.
So sexy.
Deputy Kenny Wiggum, Marion County. Officer Rachel Willingham, Umatilla County. Officer Thomas Yates, Washington County.
Where?
Congratulations, graduates of Basic Parole and Probation, Class 89.
Before we go, I want to leave BPP 89 with a few more words, as I always have a few more words before they leave for the day. The career you're entering is sometimes ask more of you than it gives to you. The progress may be slow, and the work will be hard, and the thanks may be very rare. But your impact will be profound. Never lose sight of your why. I like that connection to the Hawaii. And remember that grit is free, but it requires work on your end. I will now administer the Criminal Justice Code of Ethics to the newly graduated officers and deputies. This moment is more than just a ceremonial tradition. It's a powerful milestone. It ties these officers and deputies to a proud legacy of service, and it marks the beginning of their commitment to protect and serve this community with courage and integrity. Will the graduates please rise? Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I swear as a criminal justice officer.
I swear as a criminal justice officer.
That my fundamental duty is to serve mankind.
That my fundamental duty is to serve mankind.
To safeguard lives and property.
To safeguard lives and property.
To protect all persons against deception.
To protect all persons against deception.
The weak against oppression or intimidation.
the weak against oppression or intimidation,
the peaceful against violence or disorder,
the peaceful against violence or disorder,
and to respect the constitutional rights of all people.
and to respect the constitutional rights of all people,
To liberty, equality, and justice.
to liberty, equality, and justice.
Please join me in formally congratulating the graduates of Basic Parole and Probation Class 89. Thank you all for joining us today for the graduation ceremony. We ask that you please remain at your seats until the graduates have been dismissed. Afterwards, we invite you to join us for a reception in the back to honor the graduates. And lastly, to the graduates, on behalf of the directors and all DPSST staff, we extend our congratulations and best wishes for a future grounded in dedication, professionalism, and ethical service. Class, you are officially dismissed. Cookies! Cookies!